Again, talking to TexAnns head coach Misty Wilson. The Texas Kubota New Holland post-game interview as the TexAnns win it 71-50 over Western State. Coach, you can't celebrate this one for long. You've got St. Mary's, future Lone Star Conference rival, coming in here to Wisdom Gym tomorrow night. Talk about the Rattlers a little bit.
They're very good, very athletic. They've got some inside game, got some outside game. They're constant motion. That's going to be a key for us on defense is, seeing girls, seeing ball, and not being, a step behind the play, because they do a great job of coming off handoffs and using on-ball screens and, getting penetration to the paint. So, we've got to do a good job defensively tomorrow.
I just thought of this. It seemed like, now this is just coming from an amateur here, but it seemed like you might have been yelling more when the younger players were in the game right there at the end. How important is it to be as intense even at this point in the game when you've almost got the game in hand?
Well, I think they're learning. They watch, but sometimes when you watch, you think that it looks a lot easier maybe than it really is. So I think it's important when they go out there that they hear my voice and understand that, that I'm going to continue to coach and I'm going to continue to try to help them get better. I mean, that's their game experience. And any opportunity we have that we can get them in a game and get experience, it's going to make us harder and harder to guard down the stretch. And, once we get to the 2 games a week, sometimes 3 games a week, once we get to the postseason, the more players we have at our disposal, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah, and Byron and I talked about having – it seemed like you had an affinity to let everybody score tonight and really put in a lot of players. Is that part of testing your depth, or that you, trying to figure out what works?
Yeah, I mean, I have a certain, rotation, and sometimes the game dictates that, how the game's going, the flow of the game. But I want to, especially early, I want to get players out there. I want to see what they've got to give, and I think it's only fair if we can get them some game experience. We see them every day in practice, so we kind of have an idea, but it's a little different when you're playing against, other teams, and you don't know every play that they're running, and so it's really good to be able to see how they're going to respond in situations, especially game situations.
Final question, Coach. A longtime graduate assistant head coach for you, Jake Stevens, now assistant coach at Texas Women's. How unusual was that to see Jake wearing the maroon and white of Texas Women's?
It's different. We saw him at a volleyball game, when we got our rings for the conference tournament championship, and I'm just really glad. I think it's a great thing when your assistants move on, and it's kind of odd him being in the conference, but that's where he wanted to be. He wanted to be an assistant coach, and I'm just excited that he was able to have that opportunity. And Denton has definitely had its effect on him. He looks, more like a city boy instead of a country boy now.
He's completely different. I certainly agree. Well, Coach, thank you very much for your time today. Congrats on the win, and good luck tomorrow against St. Mary's.
Thank you, Kelton.